Get ready for a photo hack. Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com, and I'm working on an update to my free guide, the Fronos Photo Guide to Capturing Motion in Low Light Situations. I'm going to get rid of the capturing motion part and just make it low light situations so it's updated, but I'm going through old photos to try and prove some points, and this one is from 2007, September 9th of 2007, when I was on tour with Perry Farrell. There's a couple of things I want to show you here real quick. This was taken with a Nikon D2XS. Now, that was the flagship model at the time. I believe it was 12.2 megapixels or something, DX sensor. Now look, this is 1250 ISO. It is pretty much maxed out. The shutter speed, 1/40th of a second at f2.8, ISO 1250 with the 10.5 millimeter fisheye, which was actually a new lens that they came up with just for the DX camera. Now, I always talk about cheating the system in situations. I also don't want to hear about complaining about how bad noise or grain is when anybody's shooting at 12,800 these days, because we were limited to 12,500 only 9 years ago, under 9 years ago. This was pretty much the max I could do with my D2XS. But in terms of cheating the system, 1/40th of a second, you can see over here on the right-hand side in Lightroom that I went and upped my exposure by over 2 stops. Now, let me show you why. Because if I pull down 2 stops, and I'm already at 2.8, I couldn't bump my ISO up any higher, I couldn't open my aperture any higher, but I had to cheat the system at 1/40th of a second. Why? Because what's 2 stops slower? Okay, you have 40th of a second, then you go 1 stop down, you've got 20th of a second, and then you have 10th of a second, 1/10 of a second, which I may have been able to hand hold without a problem, but I didn't want to do that because I may have gotten some of my own shake in there, and if Perry moved, I would have gotten some motion blur that I didn't want. So what I call cheating the system, more so back in the day, was I knew that I was going to bring it back in the RAW file, because again, this is a RAW file from back in 2007. Lightroom, this is still using the old Lightroom modules that you can see that have been updated, because these are the old edits that I did. Okay, so let's go back to the other exposure right before. And there you go. That's 2 stops brighter, because I had to compensate for not wanting to get motion blur of any kind, whether it was Perry moving or whether it was me moving, because he was moving quite a bit. Of course, he posed just for this image, and I'm not saying it's the greatest image in the world at all, because, again, you could see all the noise and grain. I guess it's sharp, but Jesus, man, that's at 12,500 only 9 years ago, so we've come a long way. But this was just a quick video on cheating the system, and that's what I wanted to share with you. If you haven't signed up for the Fronos Photo email list, you can do so right now. Just look for this orange box over on the website, put your name, email address in it, and I will send you the current free guide to capturing motion in low-light situations. And when the new one comes out, I'm going to send that to you free in an email as well, so you can get the updated one. But I just wanted to share that with you real quick. I hope it helps out, and that is where we will leave it. Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com. See ya.